The Painting with Magic Show with Brandon Thomas is brought to you by BrandonThomasArtSupply.com, home of the Brandon Thomas product line, and by the Brandon Thomas Instructor Team. Go to BrandonThomasArt.com to find an instructor near you.
Hey, it's Brandon T here with the Painting with Magic Show, and today we're going to do a nice little fun painting for you. I thought that we may do a cabin scene today. I get a lot of questions on doing buildings, and so I want to do some more buildings for the program, because I know a lot of people enjoy watching those, and a lot of people struggle with those, so if I can do another fun project using a cabin, that's what I'm going to do to help you out. So what I have here is my standard 16x20 canvas that I covered with my signature amazing white medium, which you can find on my website, along with my signature brushes and other mediums that I offer. And the colors I'm using should already be going across the screen for you. And I'm using a very simple palette today, using oil colors. I got a lot of questions on what paint I'm using. I'm using oil paints. And these are Grumbacher pre-tested with a Frederick's red label canvas. Beautiful canvas. So alrighty, we're ready to go? Let's get started. I'm going to take the 2-inch brush and we're going to a little bit of this Prussian Blue. And just load the brush evenly in here. As you can see, I'm using the same old dirty brush I used to apply amazing white to the canvas. I'm just going to use a little bit of this. I can always grab a little bit more like this, pull it out just a little bit, and just tap it in there. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's go back up here to the canvas now. Okay, so we're going to use little X strokes up here, starting on one corner and working our way all the way across. As you can see, as I'm working with this, it's gotten lighter. Okay, that's because I have amazing whites on the canvas, and it's allowing me to blend my paint right on the canvas. Instead of having to make multiple different blues, I can just grab one blue, like this Prussian Blue, and just add it to my canvas and be done with it. I'm going to go right down here real quickly, add just a tiny bit more to my brush, and I'm going to start on this side. And I'm going to make it just a little darker. Okay. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now that we got our sky blended out and looking really good, I don't go back multiple times. I just use the same old brush. If you use a little amount of paint, if you use too much paint, it's going to make it a problem, and you have to come back with another brush and come from back here and blend it if you put too much paint on there. Now, if I have multiple colors on this sky, then yes, I'll grab another brush and I'll blend those out, because you want a clean, dry brush for those, like a sunset painting, right? This in here is just a simple blue sky. You should be able to just paint it on and be done with it. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start working on some simple clouds. Okay, so what I'm going to grab for that will be a 1-inch brush. Okay, so to do that, we're going to take this 1-inch brush and load it into some titanium white. Loading it right into titanium white paint. This is oil paint. All right, just load it up. And you don't want to load this up too much. You want just the top edges. Just the top right here, as you can see. Okay? You don't want to fill it up back here. That's whenever you get it gunked up and it'll destroy your brushes. Keep your paint down here. Alrighty? There, it's good and loaded. Let's go back up here now to the canvas. Now we're going to do little circles up here using that brush. And these are just simple clouds. Alright? It's just simple little clouds. If you've painted with me before, there should be no problem for you. And if you're new, the 1-inch brush makes incredible, easy clouds. Very beautiful, puffed up clouds, okay? Beautiful little clouds. And this is not going to be an important background. I know you hear me say that all the time. It's not an important background, but it does matter to have a nice looking, a simple scene back here that doesn't take away from anything else, okay? I'm just going to blend them with the same brush, just dabbing it out. Okay, so I'm just reloading that brush to titanium white, and we'll come back up here again and just start to add another little small layer of clouds. And you can see those beautiful little cloud layers come in. Okay. And that's simple. That's all there is to doing this. Now, I may go ahead and just another little bit more. And just kind of tap something down here. Just have something extra down at the bottom. But that's all there is to creating little clouds. Okay, so now we got our clouds all blended out. Start working on this background back here. And I just want to do some big old trees. I want to kind of make this a kind of a country kind of setting, but I don't want something too out of place. So I've been doing so many mountains here lately on the show that I'm almost sick of doing them. Just kidding, I love to do mountains. But a lot of people are tired of seeing mountains, so I thought I'd do something just a tiny bit different. And just change it up just a little bit on here, okay? So, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll grab our old palette knife. There she is. Okay. So we'll take a little bit of black, a little Prussian blue, some sap green, and we'll just put it right here. It's fine. Some burnt umber with that, and some Naphthol red, and just give us a nice little mix. Just a nice dark color. That's all you need. Nice dark color. Alrighty, let's give it a brush real quick. Okay, I got me a 1-inch brush. I'm just going to tap it into the paint. Just tap right into it. Just crunch the brush into it. Give it just a little bit of pressure. That way that it opens up these bristles. Okay? Opens them up really good. Alrighty, let's go up here now and start painting some trees. Okay, so I'm just going to go here and start tapping in some tree shapes. I'm just looking for round, basic, generic kind of shapes. Nothing really crazy going on. If you hear me crunching on here, I'm not adding too much pressure. I'm adding a medium amount of pressure to this. It should not take much to have this paint coming off this brush. If you're having a hard time with your brushes, you may need to condition your brushes using some brush soap. And speaking of that, I got a new signature brush soap available that I developed, the best one I've ever used. And it comes in a big old bar, big 3-ounce bar of soap. Almost like 3.5 ounces. Okay, so now that I've got my trees all shaped up back here, just some simple background stuff. Nothing too crazy, right? I'll do is I'll take my palette knife. I'm just gonna do some upstrokes like this. Just some upstrokes, downstrokes, all these little things like this right here, and it will help you add some extra things back here in the back without having to grab the old liner brush and do anything like that. So let's go ahead and take our liner brush and let's go into a little bit of this color right here. I thin it down with just a little bit of some of that amazing clear medium. Just a nice little bit right here. Let's go back up here. Right through here, I'm just going to add a few to the big tree. Right? I'm not going to add to all of them. Just the smaller, just the bigger ones. We'll get these. Okay, just the big trees. I'm thinking when I have the house in here somewhere, the cabin. That's where I'm thinking about adding it. Now some people will say, well, you want your house to be taller than these trees here, depending on what you're doing. It depends on what you're doing, exactly. I want the trees to be taller this time than the house. And naturally trees are. I want this to be, the house to be closer to these trees than farther away. Okay, and then through here, I'm going to add some more. I'm going to add a little bit through here, but as I go, I'm not going to add any more to it. Just a few, just to kind of like you're blending something out. Okay, so now I got this here going here. I'm just gonna grab another brush here, some old dirty 1-inch brush. I'm just gonna load it up, and I'm gonna fill it in down here. Just fill it up with some dark. Okay, so now that I have this filled up with dark paint, it's time to start highlighting these background trees. It's time to start giving those some highlights. Now at this point, you can decide to make this a winter scene, a fall scene, or a summer scene, depending on how you highlight your painting. All paintings go through this step here. Now if I was going to do this in the winter time, I'd probably put more blue in everything, because when it hits, that white would hit it, because you're going to use the white for the highlighting. It would make it look more of a snow scene. Okay, so this will be a summer scene. That's what I'm hoping for to come soon, because I'm tired of the cold weather. Okay, I'm tired of the cold already. So when summer comes, I'm not going to complain one time about it being too hot. So I'm tired of this cold weather. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and let's get ready to start putting some highlights in back here. Okay, so I grabbed my 1-inch brush that had the white on it from the clouds, and I'm going to use that to load up into some Hansa Yellow today. Okay, so just load your brush by tapping in there. I'm just going to grab a tiny touch of sap green and add that in there with it, just a little bit more. Now as it hits this, hits the canvas up there, it's going to change this color anyway. And this right here is a little bit of amazing white to go with it. Okay, and I got the brush nice and loaded, and we'll go up here now. Okay, so right here we're going to start adding our highlights to it. So just gently touch. Now if the paint does not come off this brush that easy, then you're going to need to add a little more amazing white to the paint. Now if you are highlighting your painting, right, you're highlighting your trees, your grass, whatever, if you are continually adding amazing white or clear to your paint, it's going to water it down too much, and you're not going to get the right consistency. What you want is you want your paint, when you're loading it up from the palette, to be kind of creamy in between the paint and the medium, right? You want it to be thicker than the medium, obviously, right? So you want to be kind of a creamy consistency, almost like a sour cream consistency, or mayonnaise or something like that, you know. So you don't want it to be too thick. You want it to be nice and creamy consistency for your highlight. That's how you get the paint to just stick perfectly, gives you the textures, and makes it look more realistic, and it helps you tremendously. I've taught so many people over the years that struggled because they wouldn't put enough paint on the palette. You see, I don't have a lot of paint on my palette. I just have enough here, and a lot of times I'll have leftover paint. But you don't want to add too much, and also you don't want to use too little paint. A lot of people will put just a tiny little bit on their palette, and then they run out and they stop, and they'll just kind of just keep adding medium to the painting, to the paint. Well, you know, if you're going to paint, use the paint. A lot of people hurt themselves. So many beginners that they hurt themselves because they don't use the paint. Make sure you use the paint that you purchase, because if not, you're just wasting it, right? Okay, so if you're not using the paint properly, then you are just going to continue messing it up, and it's going to look muddy. That's how you create mud most of the time, is you got it too thin or you got it too thick, and you cannot get it to stick to the canvas properly. So let's go back up here and continue highlighting our little trees up here, okay? Okay. But again, if you add too much medium to it, it's not going to, it'll stick, but you're not going to get that color you're looking for. Okay. I'm just reloading the brush up as I'm going here, just so I can continue to add more trees and stuff back here to the background. I'm not exactly sure what we'll see over here. We should see most of these trees, I think. I don't know. Okay. And you see these different layers coming together. And sometimes I won't even reload the brush. Sometimes I'll just kind of get the color to mix in to the background color so I can get some different variations without having to use another color. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to grab my liner brush, add a little bit of medium to it, a little Amazing Clear, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add just a little bit of detail through here. Okay. Just a small amount. Using the brush like this right here and just kind of letting it pull up. Alright. Okay, so now we have the trees in here. We threw a little few details in there. It's time to start adding in some grass through here. It's time to start adding some grass through here. But I'm thinking I want to have a pond in here somewhere. So I just used a brush that has some white there on it. I just kind of knocked in an idea of where I may want a pond. And it may come around like this here or something like that. So I'm just kind of adding things in here as I go in my mind's eye. And that's how you kind of figure out what you're going to do. So let's go ahead and let's load the brush up into this yellow. And I'm going to grab a little bit of some sap green. I don't want it to be too yellow. Alright. And there is still a little bit of Amazing White in here. Now if you give us a little bit of a push, it's going to load that brush up nicely and get you a nice loaded brush. Okay, good. Now I'm just going to tap on some grass, okay? Just going to tap in some grass wherever I think it should go. Now we already know we're going to have a cabin over here, so there's no use to paint that in over there. But it's just supposed to be a nice, soft little grassy scene. Right through here. This ain't, you know, something crazy. Still yet, I would add a little bit of grass through here because we don't know exactly how big the cabin's going to be or how small it's going to be. Now I just picked up some more paint and I added a little bit more Amazing White to it. Same color, same way to load it. But I need to have some distinctiveness in this grass. I need some different looks to it. I need some different angles to it. That way it looks a little more realistic, looks a little more interesting for everybody watching it and anybody looking at your painting. You always want to have a little interesting look to them. It does not take much to do it either. Okay, and then right here, I'm going to take the same color and just pull it down. Kind of create water, right? Because we want a little pond in here. Now, you may not want the pond. Maybe you want something totally different. But there we go. There's the pond. Okay, so now we got our pond in here. We got our grass in here, basically, right? It's time to start designing our cabin. And what I usually do is I'll take my knife and I'll take the tip of it and then I'll scratch in what I'm looking for. Depends on how large you want this to be. Now you kind of can see how he done that. It makes it like using an ink pen. This is something I've been doing for a long time this way. Okay. And then you can come in here and you can scrape out the majority. You can even use a pencil eraser, and it will remove this paint as well, like a paint eraser would. But you can use a pencil eraser. Now, a painting eraser is better because it has those little chisels and angles on it, and it's got a better rubber to it. But if all you have is a pencil, it will definitely do it. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the palette and let's grab some burnt umber and some Mars black. Now, if you don't have Mars black, you can use ivory black. Mars black is just darker. It doesn't have a bluey tint to it or a purpley tint. It just has a black, just a standard dark, really dark black. So I make those two together. I'm gonna get a little roll of paint around the edge of that knife, and we'll go back up here now. Okay, so now we're gonna come here. We're gonna fill in the house. Use the angles of the knife to your benefit to make those sharp angles for you. Don't fight the knife. Let the knife do its thing, and it'll get you a better result if you just follow the angles of your blade. Your blade's got multiple angles on it. Okay, so now we got that filled in very easily. Then this time, just let it work. Let it do its thing. See, look at there. Look how simple that was. Look how easy that was. Look at there. Boom. Back to the palette again. This time we're going to mix up as a little bit of a highlight color. Right? We're going to start putting the logs in. So I'm just going to add titanium white to that. And we have more burnt umber to it. Alrighty. Alright, that's good. And we get that little roll of paint right there on the edge. See that little roll? Little ribbon of paint? Let's go up here now. So what we're going to do here, and I'm going to take this paint and I'm just going to go sideways with it. Just dabbing it. See there? And that's going to give you a cabin look. Just like that right there. And then on the other side of it, there's your cabin. It's really that simple, really. Now, what I've done is I shut the light off so you can see better in here, so there's not as much glare. I don't want as much glare on this, so you can see what this looks like more or less without the glare, the dramatic glares. It's a very shiny paint, so now I'm just using the small edge of the knife, and I'm going to come right up here and do it this way, keeping it as flat as possible. Keeping an edge line there, keeping it lined up. Now, as you travel, especially like in Kentucky here, we got a lot of old cabins here. We got a cabin not too far from where I live, maybe an hour or so away, where Abraham Lincoln was born. And so we got a lot of historic cabins here in Kentucky. That's a little circle strokes, and kind of give it that little look to it, like the little edge would look, right? So there's that. Okay, so while the light's still off, I'm going to keep working. Then I'll add the outline later. So I'm going to grab the black paint again. I'm going to come over here and grab a little roll of paint. Okay, and we're going to put that door in right here. Boom. Maybe it's an old hunting cabin or something like that. Now, I know the camera angles, sometimes when we're doing these things, some stuff looks a little crooked. And so this house almost looks like it's looking this way on the camera angle, but it's not. It's weird. Maybe not. Maybe it's how I'm looking at it. And I'm going to throw a little one right there. And a little window right there. Okay, so we're still working on this. Let's go back to the palette and mix up as a color for our roof. So for the roof, I'm going to use a little white and some of that black to make a darkish gray. And then back up here, I'm just going to fill it in. Now, sometimes the roofs are the trickiest for folks. But again, if you let that knife do its job and use its angles the way it's made, you'll be able to get this down, no problem. Just re-added more paint. You'll be able to do this. Now, this is an old metal roof. You know, you can put rust on it, whatever you want to do. Okay, there's that. Now for the roof to look even better, let's go back to the palette. We're going to grab some titanium white, that little bit of that gray color. I'm going to add just a little bit of blue. Okay, just a little bit of blue. And we're going to use a small end of that knife, and we're going to put a little roll there. And let's go up here and put some shingles on this roof. Okay, and to do it, we're going to do it this way. We're going to go down from the bottom, dab, dab. See how them shingles are going? Some old shingles. More shingles to the roof. No, it doesn't have to be perfect. This is an old, worn out looking cabin. With some big old wood shingles. You can see coming off that side too. So you have little shingles like that there. Then I come back and I'm just going to fix those corners. Something about like that. Something about like that there. And then I can come back and I can add even more white. And then still touch up this. Still touch it up a little bit to make it look a little better there. Now, if you have a hard time for this sticking to it, I'll add just a tiny bit of amazing white to that, just to have it to stick. Okay, and I'm just adding some things to the edge of the windows. The windows do not have any glass in them. This door doesn't have a door to it. It's just an opening for the cabin. Okay. Nice little simple, easy to create. And I can just come in here and I can just add a little white, a little more highlights to those top of those shingles. But yeah, it's a basic little basic little cabin. And then obviously we can scrape the base of that. And then touch it up with that big old brush. And obviously I like to have a little shadow, so if you're going to pick up some of that color, regardless, then you're going to be fine. There. Nice little barn, little cabin. Now back here, you may be able to see these little scratches. I'm going to take my liner brush. And I can heal those little scratches. Easily. Okay, and them little scratches are gone. Okay, the next step I want to do is I'm going to take a number 3 fan brush, and I just want to put a little path through here. And to do that, I'm just going to grab some of that brown stuff we used already for the top of that, and just kind of have a little path or something. Kind of comes out from outside this cabin. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is let's put some evergreens in here or something like that. Let's put a big old evergreen tree in. We haven't done a big evergreen tree in a while, so let's take this same old tree color. I still have plenty left down here. But I'm going to add a little more blue and brown, some sap green, and some naphthol red to it. And just kind of make some more. Now let's load our brush into this dark color. It's number 6 fan brush. Back and forth and pull it, give it a little pull. And you get a nice little chiseled edge to it. And let's go up here now and decide where our evergreen tree is going to live. It's going to live right in here. Okay. And we're going to set right here as our tree. Now I have a video on how to do trees, evergreen trees. Now I may or may not. I may redo that video and do an updated version of that one. But I just did there was scraping out some of the guts. That's what I call it, scraping the guts. That way it's not going to dilute this color down too much and make it too light. Okay, this tree can go behind the cabin at this point, or it can go in front of the cabin, and that's where I'm going with it. I want it to be in front. I want a bigger amount, bigger one, right there. Okay, nice little trees. So we put another little tree in here. Small little tree. Okay, there's a tree. Okay, so now we got our evergreens in there. Let's go ahead and highlight this, and we're going to use this tree color here. We've been using this yellow. And I'm just adding in some amazing white to that. A little bit of sap green. And then just crunch the brush into that paint. Okay, let's go up here now. And just highlight this like we normally do our trees. Like we normally do our evergreen trees. And if it's your first time joining me here, all we're doing is simply highlighting these evergreen trees by just using light pressure. Not a lot of pressure at all, to get these a nice little highlight. Now, there's not a real specific area where this light is coming from in this painting. Sometimes the light is coming from right above directly, and so you don't have to really give it too much of a decision, but you should have a general idea where your highlights are mainly going to go. And mine are normally, naturally for me, they're going to come from the right side. Okay, so at the base of this, I'm just going to go ahead and just take this big old 2-inch brush that we was using for grass and just kind of tap it through here. Just kind of fix the base of those trees. I'm going to grab that brush we was using for highlighting those and just kind of make some bushes or something down here. Kind of some brush. See those nice little bushes now? Coming through there, up and through there. Okay, that's good. There we go. Okay, so now we have our trees here, our cabins in here. The main theme of the painting is already here. And so remember we had the water down here. I think I'm going to raise the water up a little bit. But before I do that, I want to kind of build maybe a stone wall in here. Okay, maybe a little bit of a stone wall you may be able to see through here. Oh, that'd be something kind of interesting to do. So I'll tell you what, let's grab our knife and we'll go through some black. Okay, and I'm going to grab some blue to add to it, just to kind of give it some more color. Maybe some brown to it too. And I'm going to scrape it. Give me a little ball of that paint. I'm going to pull it up flat, and then I'm going to get a roll of paint around the old edge. Okay, so now let's go back up here. Now, I kind of see where my stone wall is going to be. I'm going to put it right in here. And you're not going to see all of it. Okay. Something about like so. Nice little section of a stone wall. And then we're going to take that color we used for the shingles and load on a small knife and just do some of this. This will give us a stone wall look. Don't keep them uniform, just kind of bounce it around, your knife around a little bit, and it'll give it that appearance of stone. Have you ever seen stone walls? I'm sure many of you have. If you're ever going through trails, you're going to find them. Old too, many of them are old. Okay, and then we're going to take that paint, get a roll of it, and then it's going to top the edge here. And just touch up like that. And that's an easy, simple way to make a little stone wall. And this stone wall will go on forever, but I'm just wanting it here. And I'm going to put some trees or something in that area. And we'll just touch up with a brush. Okay. Now, I think I'll take that 1-inch brush with the darks on it. And we'll go right through some darks ourselves. And then right through here. This is where they're going to cover up their stone wall there. Because now I'm wanting this water to come up higher. Obviously, we got to cover this section because I don't want that stone water to go through there. Okay, just like that there. Just fill that up. Okay, and then through here, I'm just going to fill up with water here. So I'm going to want it to be a little bit higher this time instead of a little bit lower than we had it. Okay. And then we'll just start highlighting like we've been doing. With some of that yellow on the brush, green. I might even add a little bit of yellow to it just to change it up a tiny bit. And we can come in here and just start to highlight. But this is the method that I use for painting is a traditional wet-on-wet method of painting. It's a method that will allow you to paint tremendously quickly, but you'll get so much beautiful paintings out of it. And you could take this technique as far as you want it to go. You can make this, you can go and do so many details with this technique, it's not even funny. You really can. And down here, I'm just going to throw it into the water. My trees, my bushes. And before I do that, I want to make this stand out. I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. Just have it top pop. Boom, it looks a little better. Okay. And then back to that liner brush and that dark thin down color. And then back here, I'm just going to kind of add a tree kind of coming out of there. Good. That's all I need there. Now let's go ahead and start working on this water to make this water look realistic. I'm going to do this with my big 2-inch clean 2-inch brush and just pull it down just a little bit. And then I'm going to go across it. And then just grabbing that big old knife, grabbing some dark paint, and getting a roll of paint. I'm going to come in here. I'm going to create a bank, because this is close enough for you to see the bank. Anything this close, you really want to add a bank to it. Okay. I may even just make the trail to that little cabin with this too. There's the banking. Now you would say, well, wouldn't the trees go in there too? I'm not going to put the trees into it. I'm not gonna need to do that because I'm going to throw some stuff down here as well. Okay, and then just highlight that. I'm going to use the stuff we use for the cabin's roof, because it's got a brownish tint to it. And if you run out of that, just make you some more of. Not that difficult. There we go. Then just use some scraping over here. Alrighty. Okay, so now we have our banking in here. This painting is really coming together nicely. It's really beautiful. And so we need to add some water lines to that. And to do that, we'll take titanium white, and we'll take a little bit of our titanium white and a little bit of amazing white. And that's all it is, a 50-50 mixture. And then we just get a little roll of paint of that, and then we'll come up here and start to add in our water lines. Okay, and so right here underneath that banking, we'll put in our water lines. Oh, here's kind of like a circle on the shore. And I'll have a full detailed photo of this on the website or Instagram page and stuff like that. There we go. Oh, this looks like a beautiful little place to go fishing. But you can do so much to this painting, it's not even funny. Okay, so this painting here is going to give you a great opportunity to do so much more. Now, I'm just going to grab some black paint. I'm just going to throw a rock in here. Okay. And I'm painting the bottom of the rock at the same time. See that? There's its reflection. That's how you get a mirror reflection of a rock. And go straight down with it. See there? That boulder. Grab it and pull down. Oh, that's simple. And you got that going. And then a water line underneath it. Okay. Okay, so on this side here, I'm just going to fill this up with some black paint. With some darks. Okay. Just like so. But I want you to know that you can do anything you want to finish this painting off with. It's all up to you how you want to do it. And then we'll go back in here and we'll start the highlighting. See those little trees in here and stuff? Okay, there's all them. And we'll take that liner brush with some of that thin down stuff. More of these. That's why I kind of threw them on here just a little bit sloppy, because I wanted to put more of this sticks and stuff through here. Okay, something about like some. I can even take a little white with some blue. A little bit more. Amazing white. And then come in here and I can just start adding some beautiful little flowers and stuff through here. Kind of that look to it. Make sure you crunch the brush up though. Or not, you're not going to get these little beautiful little, I don't know what they're even called, but they look good. Purple, blue, always looks good with this style. Okay. And with that right there, I think I got a finished little painting. Alrighty guys, I hope you enjoyed painting with me today. This is a fun little painting to do. I really enjoyed it. It's something totally different than we've done on the shop before. Nice little cabin with a nice little stone wall that you can build on here on any painting. It really will look great in a woodsy scene with one of these going through there, through a trail, beside a trail. And it's very simple and easy to do. These nice little, beautiful little flowers and stuff like that down there in this little lake and stuff. Something fun for you to do. Hope you try this out. If you do, make sure you send it to us on our Instagram page, tag us in it at hashtag Painting with Magic on Facebook or any other social media accounts. Make sure you follow us on all those places, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Please subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss a new episode. And if you need art supplies, make sure you please check out BrandonThomasArtSupply.com or BrandonThomasArt.com. And if you need any supplies, please check us out. Well, I hope you enjoyed this little episode. If you have any questions, you can always contact me. And this one here is ready for an art gallery, and so is yours. And I'll see you real soon.
The Painting with Magic Show with Brandon Thomas is brought to you by BrandonThomasArtSupply.com, home of the Brandon Thomas product line, and by the Brandon Thomas Instructor Team. Go to BrandonThomasArt.com to find an instructor near you.